Porsche is no ordinary company, and this is no ordinary story. In 2008, a sports car maker from Stuttgart cornered Volkswagen so hard that hedge funds were crushed. And then, Porsche got bought instead. In 1931, Ferdinand Porsche opened an engineering office in Stuttgart, and his name would end up attached to two of Germany's most important car companies. He designed race cars, luxury cars, and the project that became the Volkswagen Beetle. That link mattered because Porsche and Volkswagen were never cleanly separate stories. One company carried the family name, the other carried the mass-market dream. After the war, Ferry Porsche built the first car to wear the Porsche badge in 1948. It was called the 356, and it gave the family its own machine at last. Then came the 911 in 1964, with its round headlights and rear engine, and Porsche became something more than an engineering firm. It became a symbol. But symbols do not protect a business from bad years. By the early 1990s, Porsche was small, expensive, and in trouble. Its model range was thin, its costs were high, and the future felt cold as a Stuttgart winter morning. The company that would later try to swallow Volkswagen first had to survive itself. In 1993, Wendelin Wiedeking took over as chief executive with Porsche's survival on the line. He was not hired to chase empires. He was hired to stop the bleeding. Wiedeking attacked waste with brutal discipline, borrowing ideas from lean manufacturing, building cars with less inventory, less delay, and less chaos. He cut complexity. He tightened production. He forced a proud company to move faster. Then, the products started landing. The Boxster widened the brand. The Cayenne, launched in 2002, shocked purists and opened a river of profit. It also deepened Porsche's industrial link to Volkswagen, because the Cayenne shared roots with the Volkswagen Touareg. That partnership looked practical on the surface. Inside Porsche, it also taught a dangerous lesson. Volkswagen was useful, vulnerable, and maybe reachable. In 2005, Porsche began buying shares in Volkswagen, and it said the move was defensive. The official argument sounded reasonable. Porsche relied on Volkswagen for key cooperation, and it wanted protection from outside raiders. But a defensive stake can become an offensive weapon. That is what made Wolfsburg nervous. Volkswagen was much larger than Porsche. It also sat inside a fortress of politics, labor power, and regional pride. The state of Lower Saxony owned 20.1% of Volkswagen and fought to keep influence. A hostile takeover, trying to seize control without management's blessing, would be hard enough anywhere. At Volkswagen, it meant challenging not just executives, but unions, politicians, and Ferdinand Porsche, the powerful chairman tied to both family trees. By 2006, Porsche had crossed 25% of Volkswagen's voting stock. That threshold mattered because in Germany, it created a blocking minority against major corporate decisions. By 2007, Porsche kept buying, and the market started asking the obvious question. If this was only defense, why did it look so much like a siege? In 2008, Porsche moved from suspicion to shock. The timing could not have been more dangerous. Global markets were already shaking, liquidity was vanishing, and fear had a sound, keyboards clattering in trading rooms at midnight. Many hedge funds had bet Volkswagen shares would fall. That trade is called a short sale, borrowing shares, selling them, and hoping to buy them back later at a lower price. Then Porsche revealed something the market had badly underestimated. It said it controlled 42.6% of Volkswagen's ordinary shares directly. It also said it held cash-settled options tied to another 31.5%. Add Lower Saxony's 20.1% stake, and only about 5.8% of Volkswagen's ordinary shares were actually left to trade. For short sellers, that was a trap with the door already shut. They had promised to return shares that barely existed in the market. As they scrambled to buy stock at any price, Volkswagen's shares exploded upward. For a moment, Volkswagen became the world's most valuable listed company by market value. Porsche had pulled off one of the most violent squeezes modern markets had ever seen. But victory on paper was about to demand cash in the real world. By 2009, the same strategy that cornered the market was cornering Porsche itself. Building a takeover with derivatives and borrowed money can create enormous exposure when credit tightens. That was now the problem. Porsche's debt load rose above 10 billion euros. The global financial crisis made refinancing harder, slower, and more humiliating. Banks were cautious. Politicians were hostile. Volkswagen's camp was waiting. At the center stood Ferdinand Porsche, a Porsche family member who chaired Volkswagen and understood power as well as engineering. The family itself was no longer perfectly aligned. Wendel and Wiedeking wanted to finish the takeover. Others saw the ground moving under their feet. In July 2009, the two sides agreed to create an integrated automotive group under Volkswagen's control. The Hunter had not just stalled, it had started negotiating the terms of its own capture. In December 2009, Volkswagen bought 49.9% of Porsche AG for 3.9 billion euros. That number made the reversal official. The company that tried to take control was now selling control of its car business. The process was not finished yet. In 2012, Volkswagen bought the remaining 50.1% of Porsche AG for 4.46 billion euros and 1 Volkswagen ordinary share. Porsche did not disappear. Its cars kept their identity, their margins, and their mystique. But the balance of power had flipped. What survived at the top was Porsche SE, the family holding company. And that holding company became Volkswagen's largest shareholder, preserving influence even after surrendering the operating business. That is why this story still feels so strange. It was not a simple win or a simple loss. It was a family battle, a financing gamble, and a lesson in how markets, politics, and debt can overpower raw ambition. Today, the empire at the center of that fight is Volkswagen Group, which delivered 9.24 million vehicles in 2023. Proof that in corporate warfare, size matters, but timing matters more. Porsche tried to use financial engineering to conquer a company far larger than itself. For one violent moment, it worked. Then the debt came due, politics closed in, and Volkswagen Group, which delivered 9.24 million vehicles in 2023, ended up in control. Some takeovers are won on the trading screen. The lasting ones are won after the market.